FFA Creed by E.M. Tiffany. I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds.
Achievements won by present and past generations of agriculturalists.
In the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years.
I believe that to live and work on a good farm or to be engaged in agricultural pursuits
is pleasant as well as challenging, for I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life.
And hold an inborn fondness for those associations which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny.
I believe in leadership in ourselves and respect from others.
I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly with such knowledge and skill as I can secure.
And in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil.
I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining.
In the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so for others and myself. And less need for charity and more of it when needed.
In being happy with myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me.
I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task.
I was dancing with my darling.
The FFA Creed, as we know it today, was written by Irwin Knowlton Tiffany in the year of 1928. Originally, it was the Creed for Wisconsin FFA, and was later adopted as the National FFA Creed in the year of 1930. This was done at the Third National FFA Convention. Mr. E.M. Tiffany wrote the FFA Creed to encompass and encourage our hope and pride in our industry. At its core values, we should be promoting our patriotism, our citizenship, and above all, our passion for agriculture. Students and members can find solace in knowing that we are all united under this creed.
The FFA Creed has been revised 2 times. At the 38th National Convention, the phrase, "or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuit" was added. The phrase, "organized farmers" was changed to "progressive agriculturists," and the sentence, "I believe we can safeguard those rights against practices and policies that are unfair" was deleted. At the 63rd Convention, a new creed was proposed but was voted down. Instead, the words "farming" and "farmers" were changed to "agriculture" and "agriculturists." Also, the phrase "rural America" was changed to "American agriculture." These changes to the creed made it more inclusive of all FFA members. The creed covers all aspects of agriculture, not just farming.
Students who compete in the Creed Speaking LDE are given the opportunity to enhance their public speaking skills by reciting the FFA Creed in front of a group of judges. They are then questioned on the subject matter. Through this, the student is able to develop leadership skills and self-confidence.
I believe in the future of agriculture, in a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by present and past generations of agriculturalists, in the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now know have come to us from the struggles of our former years. This first paragraph of the FFA Creed shows how excited we are as agriculturalists to watch our industry grow. It also shows that we are so proud of past generations and the innovations they made, and we are excited to expand upon them and make our production even better.
Through the phrase, "in the promise of better days through better ways," we are acknowledging how we look forward to seeing our industry grow, based on the growth we witnessed through the hard work of people from the past.
Let's look at the phrase, "with the faith born not of words but of deeds, achievements won by present and past generations of agriculturists." From this phrase, we know that our hope is not based on what people have said, but what people have done. One example of this is Norman Borlaug. He is known as the father of the Green Revolution. In 1970, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize because of his wheat research that has saved billions across the globe from dying of starvation. His example is something that we can use to know that agriculture research is important That should continue into the future.
How do you think agriculture can be improved, and what can we do to improve it?
I believe to live and work on a good farm or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits is pleasant as well as challenging, for I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life and hold an inborn fondness for those associations which even in hours of discouragement I cannot deny.
What are some of the joys and discomforts of living an agricultural life?
I believe that to live and work on a good farm or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits is pleasant as well as challenging. To me, this means that agricultural experiences can be rewarding from the obstacles that we overcome for a desired product to come to fruition.
In the phrase, "for I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life," some of the joys of agricultural life may include eating good homegrown food, having a fit body by actively being involved on a farm and agricultural life.
I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly, with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil.
How can you be a leader in your community?
It is essential to seek the most efficient methods of agriculture in order to produce and serve and provide for our community by marketing those products.
Self-leadership is important because you can influence yourself into achieving your personal goals. Receiving respect from others shows character, and majority of the time, if you show respect, others will do the same for you.
I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining. In the life abundant and enough honest wealth to make it so for others as well as myself. In less need for charity and more of it when needed. In being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. This paragraph means that we work for what we need and then we help others to get sufficient amounts of what they need.
In the world we live in today, how can you pursue your own happiness, but at the same time pursue charity work for those in need?
The Creed states the phrase, "in life abundant," and that we are to keep enough honest wealth to help keep life abundant for others as well as myself. To me, this statement means that we are to work with the talents we have been given for the betterment of our lives and the lives around us. An example of this is that I am skilled in building and repairing things. With this talent, I can produce commodities for my community, as well as teach others in my community how to build their own furniture or do their own home improvements, as well as myself and others getting the opportunity to sell our creations to our community.
I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community, which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. This portion of the Creed could be summarized as holding fond of our traditions that we've built up through this organization, the FFA, as well as agriculture itself, as well as farming, as well as education. We have built several traditions that we can look back on and be very, very fond of and learn from, as well as advancing into new horizons, if you will, of agriculture and staying true to those traditions, but as well learning from them and using them to advance forward into a new world of agriculture.
How can you exert an influence into your community?
In the final paragraph of the FFA Creed, we're called to go out to our homes and communities and exert an influence. How can we do this? Social media is always a vital tool to exert an influence of the agricultural community to those who follow you. However, there are some ways that you can get your hands dirty. Here in Wilson County, we have something called Farm Days, where you can volunteer to lead around second graders from all over Wilson County to see different parts of how a farm works, from vegetables to cows to horses to sheep to goats, you name it, we probably have it. There's also where you can volunteer for your county fair, as well as going to your young farmers and ranchers, as well as collegiate FFA. These are great ways to get involved and exert influences on your community.
Tennessee.